Hey, what's going on, dudes and dudettes, and welcome back to the final episode of this fantastic build from the good folks from Kotobukiya, Japan. And that's none other than the 172 scale high-end master model Blade Liger Mirage. And without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so in this video, we pretty much are going to be targeting 4 key areas on this kit, and that's pretty much assembling, panel lining, as well as decals and some advanced weathering. Now, the advanced weathering is optional, but the reason why I want to add the final touches to this kit, to give that feel that it's been riding through the deserts and just building up that deposit of dirt on the gears as well as on the fingertips, to give the kit a little bit more personality. And I really am happy how it turned out, and I do hope you guys like how it turns out too. Alright, so once we applied as many decals as we want in this kit, it is optional if you want to apply them all, but you don't have to. We're going to be applying my next solution that I absolutely love, and that's the Mr. Weathering Color Sand Wash and Stain Brown. Now, the sand wash is going to be used as the base coat, while the stain brown is going to be a follow-up, adding a nice dirt texture to the gear. Adding additional texture to the white piece as well as everywhere else, we're going to be using the rubber black as well as a fine tip brush to create like specific chip parts on the white armor pieces, as well as a sponge to give it more texture. Now, to further explain what I'm doing with the sand wash texture with the airbrush, I'm pretty much applying that texture on areas that would actually accumulate more dust. So what I'm basically doing is like heavily emphasizing the areas that are underneath the mech itself. So I'm basically just applying a light wash on the area, if that makes any sense, while at the same time keeping the color consistency well balanced. Now comes to the final stages of doing the weathering, and that is using the rubber black along with a small piece of the sponge to create like a nice little dirty texture. So as you can see here, I'm using a sheet of paper, or you can use a towel, and you want to like dab that surface so that way you get a nice consistent flow, like a scattering radius effect to create like a nice texture onto all the remaining pieces. And if you do it right, it doesn't hurt if you add a little bit more darkness to it. It is up to your preferences, but the good thing about the rubber black is it's a nice flat color, so the consistency of the way how it looks will work with all the remaining colors in the surrounding area, if that makes any sense. And there you have it, guys, the 1/72 scale Blade Liger Mirage. And I have to say, this was a really cool kit, and probably one of the many expensive kits that I've purchased to date for something that's close to a master grade size. So let's talk about the goods and the bads about this. First, the bad, and they're really small. Me personally, I felt that the kit was a little too overpriced, but it's probably due to the fact that they don't manufacture as much as they do with this one. It's very popular amongst like collectors. Another thing is it comes with additional parts that you have no idea where they go. And my theory is that they were probably planning on adding additional expansions to the Liger in future builds, but they never fell through, so it kind of sucks. You're stuck with additional plastic pieces. Another small gripe, you can do a great deal of poses with this, but the joints that lock in the legs do tend to fall off very easily, so you gotta be very careful with that. And now the good. This kit freaking rocks. I can't tell you how excited I was when I was building this. This thing has everything that I wanted in a Zoid. You got crazy articulation, you got a crazy amount of detail, you got all the decals you want to make this sucker look authentic on the box art, and each compartment has its own movable purpose to it. Like the tail moves, the red vents have their own like way of expressing to show the ferocity and the animalistic vibe you get from the Liger Zero. Excuse me, Liger Mirage. So let's not confuse the two. But overall, I absolutely had a fantastic time. Despite the fact that it's pretty expensive, I had a blast building this kit. But that's all I can really say. You know, this kit is a must-buy. Liger fan or not, expert builder or beginner, you will have a lot of fun. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Huge shout out to the new followers that came on last month. Thank you so much. And if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that bell, and I will see you on the next video. Later.